All right, welcome to the deep dive. We are jumping right in today with the Vantage Plus Crypto Outlook.
Yep,
It just published today, November 24th, 2025, and it really cuts straight to the anxiety everyone is feeling.
it
It
does.
asks the big question, has the crypto winter officially started?
And that's exactly the mission for this deep dive. You're looking for a clear, quick way to understand why sentiment has, just completely reversed after months of positivity.
Right.
So we need to look past just the prices and get into the fundamentals and, more importantly, the specific technical levels for BTC, ETH, XRP, and SOL. Those will tell us what's coming next.
Okay, so let's start with that sentiment then. We did have that little glimmer of hope last Friday, didn't we?
We did, yeah. The New York Fed Chair, John Williams, said a few things. The dollar weakened a bit, and Bitcoin got a temporary lift.
But it just didn't last.
Not at all. And
Uh,
what's fascinating is how violently the negative feeling just snapped right back. The main driver isn't even purely a crypto thing. It's the broader fear around the AI sector.
Okay, I have to ask about that. Why does panic about AI valuations, which feels like a NASDAQ issue, end up dictating Bitcoin's price? I mean, aren't the crypto ETF outflows a more direct problem?
That's the thing, they're connected.
Hmm.
And that's the crucial insight here. Institutional money, they treat hot AI stocks and big crypto assets as the same kind of high-risk bet.
Right, risk-on assets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when those hawkish comments came out in late October and people started worrying about AI valuations being too high, that capital just flowed out of both at the same time. Where the NASDAQ goes, Bitcoin often follows.
So the market's filter has basically flipped. A few months ago, good news was amplified. Now it's the bad news that's getting all the attention. The year-end rally feels very far away.
Precisely. And this is where the technicals become so important because the chart's just confirming the pain points we're seeing in the fundamentals.
Let's move to the majors then, starting with Bitcoin. It's trading around what, $84,000 right now. The report says the break of the psychological $90,000 level was the biggest bearish signal we've had in months.
It was huge. Breaking 90,000 just confirmed that momentum has definitively shifted down. So if you're tracking this, the critical next support zone is $80,000.
And that level is important because,
Well, it was like an iron wall of support back in March.
yeah.
Holding 80,000 is the inflection point. It really dictates whether we see a reversal back toward the all-time high or if we just buckle under more selling pressure.
Okay, and meanwhile, Ethereum is near $2,700, showing a really similar loss of steam. What was the critical signal there?
For Ethereum, the big break happened last week. It closed below the 50 moving average zone on the weekly chart. That was around $3,100.
And for anyone new to this, why is that weekly break so significant?
Well, when a major asset breaks that line on a weekly scale, it suggests there's some pretty serious downside momentum building. That break points ETH straight towards its next major support at 2,500.
Okay, so let's move to the altcoins. XRP is at about $1.91.
Yeah.
It's been holding steady for a while, but now it's breaking down below both the 50 moving average and that psychological $2 level.
Yeah, and the history there is key. If the felling gets worse, buyers will probably only really step back in around $1.65.
Why that number specifically?
Because that level was a major resistance zone all the way back in May of 2022. It's a classic case of old resistance potentially becoming new support.
Got it. And finally, Solana, SOL, at about $126. The chart there is dominated by a pattern I'm sure many people have heard of.
The head and shoulders.
The head and shoulder.
Right, a classic bearish reversal pattern. The negative momentum for SOL really got locked in when it broke the neckline. That's the key support line at the $160 zone.
It tried to bounce back, though.
It did, a quick, desperate attempt, but it closed well below 140, which is pushing that big psychological $100 price target uncomfortably close.
Wow. That is just a lot of red across all the charts.
It is. And the main takeaway is that the technicals, for both the majors and the altcoins, they're all confirming the negative story from the fundamental data. The AI fear, the ETF outflows, it's all reflected in those broken charts.
So what stands out most to you about the significance of that $80,000 level for Bitcoin? That really feels like the make or break line for the entire crypto space right now, doesn't it?
It absolutely is. It's the center of gravity for the market. And this brings up a final important question for you to think about. Given this clear connection we're seeing between U.S. indices like the NASDAQ and crypto weakness, how much does fading trust in the AI sector ultimately dictate the short-term future of this entire space?